Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing this evening? A lot has happened since we were last live Wednesday. Not really so much here, but internationally. It's a whole different international situation since Wednesday. So a good bit to talk about in terms of that. But I hope everybody is doing well on this lovely evening. It was not so great of a day, but all right. But it's now all right. That makes any sense. That probably made no logic whatsoever. What is this talking about? Yeah. So I'm just looking at things, getting the latest news, and so just making sure I have everything. Great stuff. I didn't put up a community post about being live today. I probably should have, but what can you do? So it wouldn't have been. I should have probably put it up anyway an hour ago. So I'm just hello, Little England. How are we keeping? How's our Saturday going? Hope we're well. Sorry, I'm just what they call it, doing the basically have ideas for videos and stuff. I'm just kind of updating them here when I'm here. That makes any sense. Like I have a book now for them. Happy days, as long as the weather is good. As long as there's some kind of decent weather. You wouldn't want it to be raining. It'd be miserable if it was raining. So hopefully you're having decent enough weather whichever lake you're beside. Living the life of Wiley. Let's see. Put this back. I'm forgetting where I put it. Am I on the white chat? Live chat. So yeah, a lot has happened. I'm sure everybody knows about the Middle East. It's pretty much a powder keg at the moment. Well, it is a powder keg, pretty much. It's going to explode at some point. Well, it's already exploded, a lot of it. But it's going to explode more and more now in the next few days. Doesn't look too good in the Middle East, across the whole Middle East. So we're supposed to just wait and see what happens, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Hello, Tony. What do you mean? You mean the bracelet? That's just the bracelet I got when I was in Finland. I didn't know which bracelet they were talking about. I forgot I was even wearing this for that until you told me. There's also just seeing the day before I came live. This not a U.S. senator, but what they call them, state representatives from it's Michigan, in the United States. Two of them were shot dead. Apparently, one Republican senator woman. No, not a senator, like the state senate, pretty much in the United States. Then her husband too. And then obviously there's a lot going on. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. So who knows what was that to do with? But yeah, the world's gone mad the last few days. So it's always been mad for the last few years, but it's definitely gone off the rails the last few days. Um, it's just insane. If you really ask me, everything that's happened in the world. Um, so not much been happening in Ireland, but there's the odd few things. When I mean the odd few things, the usual stuff. Um, it's a holy waste. The way you probably could say, because like looking at it that way, is like it's a holy bracelet, but it's supposed to be the Finnish flag, but it's upside down. See, when it's like that, you think it's a cross, but it's supposed to be the other way around. Like you see this way. I don't know. It's how they're turning it out by breaking my wrist, but the Finnish flag, like that, yeah. But it's majority of the time you see it like that because I have my hand up like that. Yeah, there was a big protest. Are you talking about the protest in Limerick today, Tony? Is that what you're talking about? Um, there was a big protest in Limerick, I think, earlier on. Seemed to be good at about 1,000 or so. Going by what I seen this morning, seemed to be about 1,000 people. Give or take, maybe a bit more. But around that. Excuse me, sorry. Um, oh, you're talking about that? Yeah. What are you asking, sir? Somebody looking for a lift to Kerry or something? I think. I don't really understand what you're saying. Something about Kerry. Um, there was something else I was going to say. I was just about to say it, then I forgot again what I was going to say. Um, what? Let me see. So yeah, I suppose we talk about. Oh, you mean yeah, Mousy the YouTuber? Is that who you're talking about? Sorry, I didn't know who you were talking about. Yeah, I know who you're on about now. Um, but yeah, so I suppose we get started talking about the Middle East. Uh, so we all know anyway what happened. When was it? Friday night? Yes, Friday morning here. Um, so basically, Israel attacked Iran's nuclear facilities and military air bases, military infrastructure, basically. And pretty much that has lighted a fuse. It pretty much has lit a fuse. Um, of pretty much war. Pretty much, I would say, a fuse of war. Um, because pretty much it's tit for tat now. We know what's happened because Israel was struck last night in Tel Aviv a good few times with ballistic missiles. So it pretty much, and then probably the United States. And eventually, if it does keep going for tit for tat, they're going to hit a U.S. military base or a British destroyer or some kind of military asset belonging to the United States or Britain. And that's not going to end well. Pretty much if that happens, because that could trigger Article 5 of NATO, and attack on one is an attack on all. Um, so pretty much in all that conflict then in the Middle East, if that happens, so that's the worst case scenario. Because the United States and the United States at the moment, not the United Kingdom, but the United States is defending Israeli airspace and stuff with their fighter jets and stuff. So it's hard to know what to say about anything, to be totally honest, because it's insane to take, because this is the first time in history that the country has struck at a nuclear facility, like a nuclear reactor kind of facility. Um, so it's quite dangerous. It really is quite dangerous. And not even to mention the chemicals and stuff like that in the facilities and stuff. It is quite dangerous stuff. But who knows what to say about it? To be totally honest, it's just madness, in my whole opinion. Um, It's insane. Well, I don't know about World War Three, but it's definitely probably going to simmer for a few days because nothing's really happened today. Last night, and was a good bit more happening. But this morning, and as we speak now, I'm just looking at Twitter here. There's literally nothing after happening when the last few hours. So we should see maybe tonight to be a bit of trouble, but I don't think so. Hello, good evening. How are we doing? Um, but it is possible. We're not probably going to turn to World War Three, because it's not like anybody's going to come to Iran's assistance. It pretty much be Iran against the United States and Israel and the United Kingdom if it comes to wars, pretty much, because nobody's going to really come to Iran's defense. Like a world war is usually when other countries get involved. Like you've seen it in the First World War, Germany and the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, Bulgaria, they all came together. And you've seen it during the Second World War, Japan, Italy, Germany, the Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria too. Um, it's basically just going to be a small conflict in the Middle East, pretty much. It's not really going to expand. Yeah, well, I think it's not. I think it's gone a lot more than that because there was only a few strikes here and there. This is literally attacking. You've seen yourself. They already blew up so many Iranian generals, Iranian scientists, attacked their nuclear facilities. So Iran's not going to sit there and say nothing about it because it is huge strikes against their country. So they're going to retaliate. And Israel has been struck last night with rockets and ballistic missiles, and they're not going to sit down and say nothing about it. So pretty much both sides are going to tit for tat for a long time, because they're pretty much held bound to beat each other up. If that makes any sense. Um, um, but obviously, it's Ireland's position that hopefully the negotiations will happen sooner rather than later. But I don't know. It's hard to know. We don't know what's going to happen. But I just hope for the best. That's all I do. For regardless what country you are, Auntie, I just hope for the best because it's not benefiting anybody. This war. Um, that's the way the hope Irish people have seen it, anyways. That it's no benefit to anybody. People being killed on any side, it's not beneficial to anybody. Um, It's funny, but the one thing I say about it, it's funny that we haven't heard from the US president much, Donald Trump. There's not really much being said about Donald Trump at the moment. It's all very quiet. Usually, Donald Trump, you hear him all the time, but it's very quiet now at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen. Think of the children. Think of everybody, not just the children. Think of everything. Um, we definitely think of the children, of course, but think of everything. Think of all the suffering and all the pain and stuff could be inflicted. Over really what in the way, but. What time is it? It is 6:33. So we don't know yet has anything happened. Uh, what do you mean? Like you mean the government agencies? That what you're talking about? What do you mean theatre? That's I don't get what you're saying by theatre. Do you mean the different departments of government? Is that what you're talking about? I don't quite get what you mean by theatre. Do you mean different departments of government? Because that's the really no secret. The all departments of government work together on different things. There's no really secret there. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not getting exactly what you mean by theatre. Oh, you mean? I know I get what you're saying. Like different governments working together. Well, I don't think so because if you look at Iran and Israel, it's very different. Israel is a Jewish state. Um, Iran is like a Muslim state, pretty much. So very different in religions there. Um, so it's quite different. And particularly Iran has always used the language that they would wipe Israel off the map if given the chance. So I don't think they're the best of friends. To be honest, they don't seem like they're the best of friends. Um, you know, maybe countries in the Western world get on, work together and stuff. But definitely, Iran and Israel not the greatest friends. Um, yeah, like Iran, women can't even really exist. The same as nearly Afghanistan. Um, you know, so I don't know about them being the best of friends, Tony. I don't know about that one. Um, whatever about the Western world, maybe. But definitely don't think them two countries will be walking, like talking to each other much. Um, you know. But yeah, one of our TDs, speaking about just international affairs, one of our TDs, Paul Murphy, Tony would know who I'm talking about, he's the people before Prophet TD. He flew over to Egypt. And you probably wonder why did he go to Egypt? Well, there was a protest from Cairo to Gaza, to the border of Gaza, because obviously Gaza attaches to Egypt. And Paul Murphy went off on a protest. It was a protest pretty much. And pretty much, along with a few other Irish people, they were detained by the Egyptian authorities. Um, and I think he's on the way back. I think he was sent home, deported pretty much from Egypt. Now, Egypt's not a democratic country. Egypt's an authoritarian regime. Uh, they can really do anything to you, pretty much. There's nothing really to stop them. So pretty much he was detained. He's pretty much, I think he's on the way home. He might be already home. But they took his phone, they took his passport and stuff, and they chained him. Um, so I don't know what to say. But the funny thing was, as many people pointed out, he had a trans flag on his Twitter account. And before he went off to Egypt, he took that away off his Twitter and replaced it with a Palestine flag. Um, everybody's kind of talking about that bit. Because we all kind of know why. Because in Egypt, they wouldn't be that too fond of that kind of flag, you know, and the serious consequences for people who, fly that flag in Egypt, compared to the Western democracies, Aside from Oman, they don't really all hate each other. Uh, well, they kind of do, but compared to Israel and Iraq, the two of them absolutely hate each other. But not so much maybe the other countries. Maybe they don't like Yemen. Israel doesn't like Yemen, of course. But I don't know about the other countries. I think Saudi Arabia and them get on decently well nowadays. Um, it's just kind of like it's all a mess, pretty much. But it's not as bad as it used to be. Like if this was 20 years ago, the whole Middle East would have exploded. But now every country would be fighting each other. If that makes any sense. Yeah, singing rebel tunes, Tony. In your head. So, what's the bracelet? This is what I got in Finland. Got this bracelet in Finland. I put it on this morning. I forgot all about it until I came live. Because I might as well use them when I bought them. Because the hero, so I might as well put them on now and again. And particularly again, I wasn't going to work and stuff like that. So it'd be different if I was going to work. I would take it off before I went to work because I end up losing it. Or I end up breaking it when I'm doing things at work. But when you're only kind of hanging about doing a few odd jobs around the house, it's not as bad. Keep those. 2K, yeah, we probably won't. Excuse me. We probably won't reach it this year, unfortunately. I don't think. Uh, because YouTube's kind of come down hard now in the last few weeks. Uh, in some stuff, in some of the videos, like you probably see yourself. If you look up my videos now, um, the videos I've uploaded today and yesterday and stuff like that. Like none of them are getting really shown to anybody pretty much at all. Yeah, like none of them are really getting shown at all. So it's not really likely that I think we'll be hitting that anytime soon, unfortunately. But anyway, but I'm happy enough for the subscribers. I'm not. I set a subscriber goals maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, see, I think YouTube's acting up a bit and causing a bit of trouble. Um, Well, probably. Do you know what you try? I know this probably sounds stupid, but try and turn it off and on again. I know that's usually what everybody says, but try turning that on and off again. It might work. It might not, but I think it's just YouTube that don't like me. I've said something that's annoyed them. Um, and I think that's it. So unfortunately, that's it. Um, like I used to get notifications, say for example, Gordon, on my tablet to say that I was going live, to tell me that I was going live. I don't get them anymore, unfortunately. So that means that people don't get that notification because I always used to get, and I never do nowadays, unfortunately. So, I don't know. I don't think in the land they even had it. To be totally honest, I don't even think they had any kind of COVID, like COVID vaccines or anything in Iran. I don't think they did. Like I don't think they ever did in Iran. Well, everybody is around the West Middle East, but I don't think in Iran. I don't think they'd be that fond of the Pfizer corporation and stuff. I don't think so. Um, as far as I know, I don't think they ever did. In Iran, I'm talking about just Iran, not talking about Israel. But they wouldn't be on the best of terms with Pfizer and stuff. Not to mention the other international sanctions too, Iran. So I don't think any American company could do business with Iraq to sell them any vaccines and stuff. So I don't think every government would work together. And the same with North Korea. They work with nobody pretty much. So there's not every government, I don't think. Um, but definitely Western democracies work together a lot. Yeah, like the advice pretty much for the last, in Ireland particularly, there's always been a traveller warning to go to Iraq. Uh, for the last literally probably 30, 40 years, it's been the case that Irish citizens are advised not to go to Iraq unless absolutely necessary. You know, that's pretty much what it is. Because again, Iraq, they done it with some British citizens a few months ago. They took they pretty much kidnapped three British tourists a few months ago, about 3 or 4 months ago, and pretty much to hold them ransom. So the British government had to get them out of it, because that's what they do. They hold them kind of ransom. Like pretty much they would hold the Irish citizens if they were in Iraq hostage. So the Irish government would have to pay off, give them money to get them out. So that's the reason why too. So not a friendly Western place for Western citizens, or Irish citizens, may I say too, or any citizen of the European Union or the Western world. The Western world. The only thing I say about the last thing I say about the Paul Murphy situation. Yeah, it was raining here a while ago. It's not too bad now. It was raining heavily here for a long time earlier on, but it's not too bad now. You can see behind it. It's overcast, but it's not raining. But what I was going to say, the only person I'd be happy at the moment is Joan Bolton that Paul Murphy was detained. Because do you remember in Jobestown during the Irish War? Tony probably would remember this. But they basically surrounded Paul Murphy and them surrounded Joe Bolton's car. She was tarnished at the time. Um, you know, I presume Tony remembers that. But yeah, Joe Bolton's the only one laughing about Paul Murphy being detained. Yeah, but just still be placed on a watch list. I presume if you went to Cuba, you'd be on some kind of watch list. Like straight away, if an American citizen went to Iraq or Iran, you would be on a watch list. Um, Actually, sorry, scratch that because you're not even allowed to go back to the United States if you've been in Iraq. No, in Iran, sorry. Yeah, well, John Bolton would be the only one that's happy at the moment. With Paul Murphy, because Paul Murphy, kind of at that time they kind of surrounded her and stuff and stopped her from going. And he's stuck. Well, he's on the way back. But you get what I'm saying. But anyway, how are you doing, Aaron? I hope you're having a good Saturday night. Good Saturday evening, may I say, not night yet. Armagh and Galway is playing in Breffni Park. So there still is trouble in Ballymena. I meant to say good evening to how are we doing? But yeah, there's still a lot of trouble in Ballymena and up in Northern Ireland, different parts of Northern Ireland. Still going on pretty much since Monday. I don't know about tonight. There's not much word about it tonight that there's any trouble tonight. Maybe there probably will be tonight somewhere in Northern Ireland, but there's a lot of trouble. Um, with cars being burned, with houses being burned in some cases too, places being broken into, different things to that. Um, Knife fight, yeah. It's just modern Ireland. What more can be said? So apparently there was a man running around Wicklow town, um, running around naked in the middle of the street. I don't think he had a knife on him. I think he was just running around. Uh, Hello, Sean Mack. How are we keeping? But yeah, so there was a man just running around naked in a place in Wicklow. Obviously new to the parish, of course. He doesn't know he doesn't know much about the parish. So he's new to the parish, so don't shoot him. Um, yeah, quite well. I think he maybe had shorts on. It doesn't look like he did. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I don't think he did. Drove by him. Well, great stuff. See, he's new to the parish. He doesn't know much. So the Gardaí didn't want to arrest somebody that's new to the parish. Um, He went full commando. Well, he didn't. He didn't seem to hurt anybody. Anyway. I suppose that's the main thing. He didn't hurt anybody. Like he didn't attack anybody or had a knife or gun. It would have been a lot worse if he did. But still, nonetheless, he shouldn't be running around. I'm sure everybody can agree with that. There should, even though it'd be different if during the day there'd be children about. It was probably, I think it was 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. But still, nonetheless, he shouldn't be running around naked in the streets. How are you keeping, Sean? How is the crack? Any women about? That's what Gordon's taking his head now. I'm just reading out loud what he's taking. The Man on the Moon. My eyes. But yeah, we were just speaking about this earlier on too. But there's been a U.S. representative, state representative, Republican state representative. She was shot dead along with her husband. There in Michigan, I think, in the United States of America. Now, before she was shot, this is just literally yesterday or the day before. To do with it's Michigan, yeah. To do with illegal immigration, they wanted to bring in a bill on illegal immigration, or such sort like that, something like that. Voted to cut in healthcare, so pretty much to ban illegal immigrants for getting healthcare. So I don't know if that's a coincidence or what's the story there. I don't think by World War III, like we're not that close to it. Even as I just explained to you earlier on, Tony, I don't think it's going to be World War III. And the reason why I say that, because nobody's coming to Iran's assistance. It'd be different if, say, China said in the morning, we're going to back Iran up. But China are not going to do it, you know. So it's Iran pretty much on their own. Forces Israel or the United States or Britain or France or whoever. It's not like going to be, another country. Like, as I said, in the First World War was the Austrian-Hungarian Empire that started the war by invading Serbia. And then the Germans got involved, and then Bulgaria, the Ottoman Empire, forces the Entente, the French, the British, the Belgium, the Italians then jumped in too, and then the Commonwealth, of course. But this is if it does turn into a wider conflict, it's only going to really affect the Middle East. Obviously, oil prices will go up here, of course, and across the West and across the world too. But it's mainly going to be an isolated conflict, like over there. Maybe the United States will be involved and Britain will be involved, but it's not likely going to turn up on European soil, if that makes any sense, or American soil or something. It's going to be a regional dispute, pretty much. Back and forth, pretty much. Hello, Brick. Sorry, I meant to say hello. But yeah, that's pretty much. My tea is kind of warm. It's not cold yet. See, for a world war, you need many sides, you need more than one country attacking another country. Like as I said, if Russia and Iran and China in the morning said we're all going to gang up and stuff, what tea bags? That's a good question. I actually don't know. I think it's Barry's. Yeah, I think it might be Barry's. Yeah, Barry's tea. Good question. I think it is. Don't quote me. I actually didn't look. There's 3 boxes down there beside the kettle. And I just kind of picked them at random and just throw the tea bag in. So I think it. Don't quote me now. But I think it is. I'm not too sure, man. Yeah, that's all gone. That all alliance is gone. The non-aligned movement. It's the same with Finland. Finland, we would have said, was non-aligned for the last 80 years or so. That's pretty much, they were non-aligned pretty much for the last 80 years. Yeah, that's what I say. But yeah, as I said, it won't be a world war because not likely China and Russia are going to, well, especially Russia with what's happening in Ukraine, They're not going to be like to Iran. Yeah, let's go and fight the Israelis and the Americans. Let's go and do that. It's going well in Ukraine, so we might as well go and do that too. Um, let's go and do that. Oh, you asking me? Did he ask me something? I didn't see it. I didn't even see. Oh, what's your favorite tea? You're asking Aaron only. I thought you were asking me. Um, I thought you were asking me. This is the best brew. Sponsored by the Yorkshire tea. I think that's what I had in Finland. Like there was English tea and it was kind of like Yorkshire tea that I had. It was kind of like British tea, but it was kind of like Yorkshire tea. I think it was maybe. I didn't really pass much marks now. I went into the supermarket just seeing it was English tea and just fucked it into the basket, because there's every other kind of tea, green tea, other kind of stuff, this thing, that other thing. PG tips, no. Um, um, okay, so the United Kingdom has just announced they're going to move fighter jets to the Middle East, whatever they have, I suppose. Um, so the United Kingdom seems like they want to get involved in some shape or another. Either that or they're just trying to defend. Because, again, the United Kingdom has military bases on Cyprus, on the island of Cyprus off the coast of Turkey. So maybe they're just moving them to defend that. I don't know. But presumably they will help Israel if Israel is attacked with missiles and stuff. Presumably. Um, that's only the really. That's all the really. This military bases, Britain has military bases in the Middle East, but that's the kind of sovereign territory. They haven't rented out. Cyprus has its own lease to the British. Um, um, but yeah, no, it is a crazy time. Let's put it out. Everything's just gone. Uh, it is literally just insane. What the name of Jesus? Oh yeah, with Iraq. You mean Iraq? Yeah. They probably could claim that there was weapons of mass destruction in like Iraq because they were probably on the way to develop. Like they're probably not wrong on that. They probably were on the way, to developing um, some kind of weapon of mass destruction. But they said that Israel has literally said that for the last 20 years. Israel has literally said that for the last 20 years that Iran was 5 minutes away from a nuclear bomb. So I don't know. It's hard to know. You don't know. Would they tell the truth in that? Would they tell a lie? It's hard to know. Yeah, like it's never. But this is the first time in history that a country is directly targeted a nuclear facility. We don't know what's the. Obviously, they don't have a nuclear weapon. Iran, maybe they do. I don't know, or maybe they stopped them from getting it. I don't know. I don't trust the Israeli government in really what they tell you because time and time again they've shown time and time again that they've been telling lies about different things. In terms of different things, take for example them aid workers. They were in Israel said there were in unmarked vehicles they were emergency workers in an ambulance with emergency vehicles dressed up as paramedics. And this way the army shot them down. It's only a few months ago the video came out. And this way the army said they didn't have any lights, they had no identifications in, they were medical personnel. And this way the army still shot them and blew them up. If that makes any sense. Because again, this way the army said, oh, these people didn't have any identification, or they didn't identify themselves. But still didn't matter because they had like literally sirens and an ambulance and stuff like that. And this way the army still shot them and killed them. Even though the Israelis said different beforehand, but then the video came out and that's all kind of been forgotten about now, conveniently. But yeah, so pretty much what I'm trying to say is, they're not the most trustworthy people to take. Sometimes maybe they're right on a few things, but the majority of the time they're kind of making up pokies, I think. But whatever about Iran, maybe they were right that they were getting weapons. I don't think anybody disputes that they probably were developing weapons, Iran. But who knows, were they close to the bomb? Were they years away? They could have been 20 years away from getting it. Who knows? But it's an extraordinary thing for a country to do, to target a country's nuclear facilities, to develop nuclear weapons and stuff. It's the first time in human history that has ever been done. I know people would say about Ukraine, that was a nuclear power plant that Russia struck a few times. Fundamental Finnish government, exactly. But they wouldn't suit Ireland because the tea bags you get, the majority of Finnish people, if they are drinking tea, is loose tea. It's not like tea bags. There's no such thing as tea bags. But see, they're all about the environment. There's no tea bags. It's just kind of loose tea. Like you dip in tea leaves and stuff like that. I'll show you sometime if I ever get a chance, if I'm over there again. They do, yeah, but it's more coffee. The man no coffee. But they do have their own tea brands, yeah. Green tea, and they have other kind of stuff. Mad stuff. Like there's literally a whole aisle of stuff just for tea bags and coffee, and it's madness. And the amount of sweets everywhere, there's fucking 7 or 8 aisles of sweets. So, who knows where to find all these things. No, I'll show you sometime if I'm ever there. See, the problem with me, too much, like literally when I was there for 9 days, too much to do. Yeah, so that's the problem. It'd be different if I had 6 years there. I could show you everything. Israel is bombing targets in Iran again. Great stuff, mighty things. So this is what's just after coming in here. Yeah, no bags. Like it's just like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like majority of places, a few places did have tea bags. The majority of places, well, you kind of had a little, like it's like a spoon, but it's like a net with kind of loose tea. I don't know how you describe that, but you dip it into your cup. It's not even in a bag, but it's that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to show you. It's hard to describe it. It's better to show you, but you probably would understand if I showed you. In the majority of places, that was that in the tea, but in the majority of places too, the tea was like water, And for 1 cup of tea, right, it would have been €5, 5 something in some places for cups of tea. Just an only cup of tea, nothing special. 5 something. Yeah. Great stuff. Like you seen that photo. I think Sean seen that photo. I put it up in the community post that time. Because it pretty much was fucking water and milk. Like there was literally no tea in it. Like it was just water and milk. Like the person made that behind the counter and give it to me. Like I didn't do it myself. Because it was kind of like you sit down and they come and they bring you stuff. Yeah. It wasn't like you get it yourself. So it was quite literally milk to give me, that time. Yeah, it's all like the biggest coffee, like Finnish people take 9 cups of coffee a day or something like that, 10 cups of coffee a day. Like strong cups, like strong coffee. Really, really strong. Like there's more cafes, cafes everywhere. I don't know where they find all this coffee. Because literally just keep drinking coffee. Yeah, but it's over here, over in this part of the world, yeah, Europe. It's the same probably in France. It'd be tea too. It wouldn't be so much, but over in Finland, it's coffee. think the majority of Europe is tea, pretty much, and not coffee, as far as I know. But yeah, it's quite mad when it comes to coffees and teas over there. Because every time I went into a cafe and stuff, it had to be a big talk about coffee and tea. Uh, Coffee and tea. Meanwhile, itchy eye. I have an itchy eye. Potato. Potatoes. Do you want some potatoes? Do you know the Muffin Man? Great stuff. YouTube is now testing a longer version of an unskippable ad, set to appear more often for viewers. So there you go. No more skipping ads on YouTube. Great stuff. Mighty stuff. YouTube's just kind of blowing themselves up. It's quite insane. Like YouTube doesn't need this money. It'd be different if they needed the money. Like YouTube's doing very well. Like the platform is doing very well. It's making a huge amount of money. Twitch is not doing so good, but it makes sense for Twitch to do it. But YouTube doesn't need it. You know, thanks be to God I don't have yeah, that's it's awful news that. Yeah, they make you watch two ads. Like there's different versions of it, but pretty much now you won't be able to skip nearly any ad. Um, yeah, I'm not saying I don't have it. Like you've never came across an ad on my channel, hope, because they're not supposed to be on. Like I make no revenue from YouTube anyway. Well, what I say, you wouldn't get any revenue from YouTube in some regards, but there shouldn't be any ads because I'm determined not to allow ads. Like YouTube messaged me at one stage, like emailed me to tell me that they didn't put on my ads and stuff. Like they were what they want because they probably want to take the money off me if I made a video and they didn't like what I said, so they just take the money and you know. But no, actually, a genuine question. Never came across an ad in any of my videos. Did just anybody? Just from my knowledge, because they shouldn't be on. Like it could show you the setting. It's not supposed to be on. So just out of coincidence. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that because at that stage, the what this is back 2 years ago. YouTube was like, turn on your ads, because in my settings, it's not on. By purpose, of course. Many YouTubers will put them on just to get the ad revenue, to get a few ad revenue. But I have a job. I don't need the ad revenue. Even if it was, I wouldn't get it because YouTube would take it away from me. Just, saying that Leitrim doesn't exist and stuff like that. Very controversial, don't you know? Very controversial thing to say. YouTube would take it straight away. Like YouTube has a policy. If you question Leitrim's existence as a sovereign entity, we would take everything away from you. So they say. Great stuff, mighty. Mighty. This eye of mine, I'm going to take it out. If it keeps itching me. It keeps itching me. It's a cavan person's way. Yeah, they owe me €5. I lent the Leitrim man one time €5 and he didn't give it back to me. So, we're kicking down the shop because of it. The Candyman. Oh yeah, there's just like so many sweet. Just speaking about Candyman, there's just so many fucking onlys. Like just like quite literally just sweet shops But there's literally nothing else in the shop but sweets. Like literally sweets everywhere in Finland. Like there's literally every block. There's nearly one. Does Cavan have a coastline? No, we're in the middle of the country. Leitrim has a coastline, but so that's why we need access to the sea. Because Leitrim has a small coastline. Like I'm barely talking about probably 4 kilometers long. So that's why we need to make the Cavan Navy. We want to reform. We want to sail the high seas. We're going to build a navy. So we need to take. We need to peacefully acquire. We need to peacefully acquire Leitrim to get access to the sea, so we can rule the seven seas. Of course. What is this? Yeah, like literally, it's only you know yourself. We talked about this before, Sean. Like it's barely probably 2 kilometers long, like the coastline of Leitrim. Yeah, it's West Cavan doesn't exist with Leitrim. Yeah, that's right. Allegedly, of course. Oh yeah, that fucking woman. Excuse my language. That woman from Finland. Literally, all the places in the country, she could go and do work experience. She had to go to Finland. Like she had to go. She was already in Finland, so she can't go back to Finland. But she went to Leitrim, Carrick and Shannon, of all places in the country to go. That's where she went. Oh no, like literally, work experience pretty much. And then she has friends and stuff in County Leitrim. Like it's insane. Coastline. No such place as Leitrim, exactly. It's all an illusion. Eastern Europe. I don't know about that one. But in some cases it nearly is. But to be totally honest, you nearly would say it's the Middle East or Africa at this stage. Also, Tommy Robinson's getting very upset at the moment. I know many people would say Tommy Robinson straight away. Like Ireland probably shouldn't have entered it. Will we be okay? In which regard and what regard? In which and what regard? Also, the true Finns have chosen destruction. Just to say it. They've chosen to destroy themselves. Great stuff. It's a mighty thing to do to destroy yourself. Oh, you probably will, yeah. I don't think it's going to go much further. Well, but the United States getting involved, but you know yourself. It'll probably be only a few. If it does happen, probably only a few weeks, and then there'll be a peace agreement. We don't. I suppose it's hard to know at the moment. I can't say that for certain, but you know. Will the true Finns be okay? Probably not. They're not going to be okay. Like all of them are living in denial. So, denial is going to hit them very hard in 2 years' time. you know. So they're not going to be okay. Um, um, yeah, like did you see his tweet talking to the Iranian, what they call him, supreme leader of Iran? Um, so I just seen that a few minutes ago. Like quite literally, the true Finns are the same as Tommy Robinson in Israel, because they pretty much buried their head in the sand and pretended that it's not going on, it doesn't exist. That's what the narrative is. That it doesn't exist, nothing's happening. Um, Not to see here. Move along. Nothing to see here, folks. Paul Brady out of South Park. The cop in South Park and stuff. He used to always say the first few episodes, the first episode nearly recorded, not in the modern series of South Park, but the first few, like he was always like, "There's nothing to see here, folks. Move along." If anybody gets that reference, it's PMX. Oh yeah, the United States of America. I forgot all about this. The United States of America is not very happy at the moment. Democracy is coming. Um, Democracy is coming to Ireland. No, but pretty much the United States of America, um, the United States government has basically told the European Union and Ireland that they will not accept the other way the European Union is trying to force the hate speech bill to be enacted here. Um, so pretty much the United States of America is like, no, we're not going to allow that. So democracy is coming. Oh, say, can you see like the dawn's light? Mm-hmm. I'll show you now. So this is from the United States. This is the Bureau of Democracy and Human Rights and Labour. So this is the federal government, pretty much the United States federal government. The European Union, because as you know, the European Union is threatening Ireland with huge fines if it does not enact hate speech legislation by 2 months' time. And it's only a few more weeks until that deadline is reached. So pretty much Uncle Sam is getting involved. So the European Union is going to probably run away because, the United States is not going to put up with it, doesn't seem. Because again, especially as Mick O'Keefe says here, this is back in 2023. GD Fat said that it was deeply, pretty much, it was unacceptable that the Irish government would do something like this to their own people. So, and he's the vice president now, so it doesn't look like they're going to get their way. The Irish government, like the Irish government, would be mad with all these protests going on up and down the country to enact to put in the hate speech, but they would be mad, like they'd be generally looking for their own destruction at that stage. Um, like they would generally be mad. They know this. I'm sure they know it, and like it would be massive protests. It would be the beginning of the end for them, pretty much. Uh, Due to a lack of democratic support, the United States is deeply committed to supporting freedom of expression and national sovereignty. We support the Irish people and share commitments of fundamental freedoms. So pretty much with this, the European Union has been told, this is unacceptable. And the Irish government's been like, don't even think about doing this. So the kind of between a rock and a hard place here. Because they don't want democracy coming. Yeah, but you have, in fairness, they are. This is going to fighting the living daylights out of me whole mountain. Um, and there's the fond line too. I don't know. Some people seem to take the out, but I don't think so. Oh, but what could happen here? The reason why I say it could happen here, because there's that much uproar over the hate speech bill and stuff. And other countries that have done it, without really much opposition. There's huge opposition here, as we see at the moment. You see around the country. Look at Limerick today. There's huge amount of protests over immigration and stuff. Like it's very loud. It's gone viral around the whole world. The Ireland is fighting back very hard. Um, so, and Elon Musk is evident. Many, as you said, Brigidi Vats has taken an interest in Ireland too. It comes to that, just with the sheer noise that we have made, to stop the hate speech bill and stuff. It was not a country. The European Union is technically not a country. It's an entity. I know that's such a statement to make, but pretty much it's just an entity. But they can sue. Yeah, they can fine us. They can fine us. Yeah, they're fining Hungary €1 million a day for such and such. I can't remember exactly. So yeah, they can fine the European Union can fine us. Yeah, thousands and thousands of euros, millions of euros. Like what the European Union suggestion is, hundreds of millions of euros they're going to charge us for not implementing the hate speech bill. But pretty much it's not going to be able to be done because it's only about 3 more weeks until the deadline's up. So there's nothing really they can do. Just the Irish government not going to get it passed in 3 weeks. Because they can barely pass at the moment. Like they tried to force it through a few times, the hate speech bill. It wasn't going to happen. There was that much opposition from every side. They couldn't get it done. Smoked fish. I don't really eat that much fish, would you believe? Oh, say can you? So yeah, the United States is going to bring democracy to Ireland. Speed one, falconry speed one. No, I don't think so, because the speed one would take too long. I literally couldn't. I couldn't speed one a game. There's too many strategies and stuff, and then if you fuck up on one strategy, you're kind of just fucked. Um, like GTA speed ones and stuff. I've seen the Zips hitting one speed ones. Like they're literally mad. Like you complete the whole game in 30 minutes. Like literally in 30 minutes. Also, Ben Shapiro is very upset. Well, not very upset. He's very happy and very upset at the same time. Also, Charlie Flanagan's under hot water at the moment. He said something about talking shit, but that's what I mean. Yeah, Ben Shapiro is happy, but he's a bit upset now. Um, so he's pretty much happy and sad. He was happy yesterday, but it's not going too well from now. um, Charlie Van, I don't know what he said, but he said something about Gaza and stuff, and that upset people. Not too sure myself what he said. He said something that really upset a lot of people, as he usually does, of course, because the black and tans. Oh yeah, here we are. It's from the Jonah.ie. Charlie Flanagan apologises for tone deaf tweet. This is relation to Paul Murphy being held in Egypt. He said that Paul Murphy's march in Israel was a circus. Yeah, so pretty much the march, just to say Paul Murphy wasn't calling for supplies to be sent to Gaza. And pretty much Charlie Flanagan said it was a circus, pretty much. That was all a big joke, pretty much. So, great stuff. Taking everything's a joke. What's with these politicians and everything thinks they're a joke? Like everything thinks it's a joke. It's the same with Lindsey Graham, that Democrat senator. You seen my community post. He's like, game on, pray for Israel. Like literally, people being murdered, people being blown up by fucking bombs. And you're saying this is a game. You like game on. Like you think we're going to play a football game. Like something very wrong with some of these politicians. Like something very, 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 very wrong, because they think it's all just a big game. It's the same with the true friends. They think everything's just a big, big game, and it's all funs and shits and giggles. That's what it literally is to them. There's something very wrong with these people. I think anybody could tell you that one. Yeah, he's very good at running away. Somebody asks him questions. He would win a horse race any day. But anyway, unless I think we might leave it there for tonight, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, or anything else anybody wants to mention. Because I think that's really it for tonight. There's not really much else to say. Yeah, that's all I can think of anyway. Still, Peter Casely's picture, his poster from the European elections last year is still up, would you believe? So that's up over a year now at this stage, and it's still the same. Oh God, that's a big long story. We're not getting into that now. Yeah, it's planned. There's a game coming out eventually, sometime in August. We should be playing it. But apart from that, nothing really at the moment. Unless something comes out really that's interesting. But at the moment, there's not really anything on the cards at the moment. So I don't think there'll be any game in streams at least until August anyway. Whatever, but maybe we might do one. Would have to be probably a short one if we did. Because see, the problem is, and the issue is, unless you had plenty of time in your hands, you wouldn't be able to play a big long game. If that makes any sense. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone. To be with the Green Party. What to expect, I suppose. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back probably Wednesday. Hopefully, all going well. So I'll chat to you then, and probably be a few videos up before then. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night, and goodbye.